All right, let's be real. When people thinking about moving to North Carolina, cities like Charlotte and Raleigh usually shine. But every now and then, someone hits me with, Keon, what's the deal with High Point? And that's when I smile, because that question tells me you've been doing your homework. See, High Point isn't flashy. It's not trying to be the next big thing, but it has layers. Some good, some not so good, but definitely worth talking about. So in this video, I'm breaking it down what it's really like to live in High Point, North Carolina. The pros, the cons, the things people love, and the things they wish they known beforehand. And if you're thinking about moving here, or maybe even investing here, keep watching, because some of this might surprise you. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos about living, buying, and building wealth here in North Carolina. My name is Keon Schollers with Real Broker LLC, and I get calls every day from people just like you. So whether you're thinking about making a move in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to reach out. All of my contact information is below in the description box, and I will be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Winston-Salem and the surrounding areas. So first off, High Point is known as the furniture capital of the world, right? That's probably the first thing that people hear when they Google it. And yeah, that's true. We've got that High Point furniture market twice a year that brings in thousands of people from all over the world. That's money pouring into the city. It helps local businesses and it keeps the buzz going downtown. But here's the thing, that's about 2 weeks out the year. So unless you're in that world, it's not something that'll impact your everyday life too much. Now, one of the biggest pros of High Point is affordability. And when I say affordable, I mean compared to a lot of other places in the country. Even compared to Greensboro or Winston-Salem, our Triad neighbors. It's still a place where you can buy a home for a good price. I'm talking first-time home buyers, young families, even retirees looking for something peaceful but not too far from the action. You can get more house for your dollar here, and that's becoming rare these days. But with that affordability, sometimes comes slower development. So you might drive through certain parts of High Point and think, this feels like it's been stuck in time for a little bit. And in some ways, you'll be right. There are pockets of the city that can use some new investment. That's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind, especially if you're looking to open a business and you want walkability and trendy restaurants right outside your front door. Now on the flip side, because High Point is still growing, that means opportunity. See, some folks sleep on that. They want that already booming spots. But if you know how to spot value before it takes off, High Point could be a smart move, especially if you're thinking long term. I've got clients who bought just a few years ago, and now their home values have gone way up. Let's talk location. High Point is in a perfect spot if you want access to everything without the chaos of the bigger city. You're right between Greensboro and Winston-Salem. So if you work in one of those cities, or your partner does, it's a smooth commute. Plus, it's just a few hours from the mountains and a few hours from the beach. In North Carolina, it's one of our biggest flexes. You can take a weekend trip and be in a completely different vibe without getting on a plane. But I'm not gonna lie, public transportation at High Point is limited. This is one of those places where having a car really makes life easier. If you're used to the subways or catching a bus every 10 minutes, like in the big city, this might be a bit of a slowdown for you. It's doable, but it's something that I always tell my clients to consider. There's a strong sense of community here if you know what to look for. But it's also a city that's been through some things. There's poverty here. There's some areas that are still rebuilding. And yeah, crime is a part of that. It's not everywhere, and it's not 24/7 wilding out like some people make it out to be. But there are some neighborhoods where you need to be aware of it and do your research before buying or renting. That's why working with a local real estate agent, like myself, who actually knows the area, not just the zip code, is so important. And while we're here, don't let people scare you away from a city just because it got a rough side. Every city does. What matters is, where are the resources going? Are people investing in the schools? Are new businesses coming in? Are people proud to live there? And with High Point, I say yes. Slowly but surely, it's growing in the right direction. I've seen more people buying and fixing up homes in those areas, and that tells me something. Now let's talk about schools. Public schools in High Point, they get mixed reviews. Some are great, some are still catching up. It really depends on the neighborhood. If you have kids or plan to, you'll want to look closely at school zones. But there are also some great charter and magnet schools in the Triad area. And hey, North Carolina's private schools and homeschool community are growing too. So there are options. On the college side, you've got High Point University right here, which is this beautiful private university that honestly looks like a resort. That school has brought in money, jobs, and events to the city. Some folks feels like it's made part of the city more exclusive. And yeah, I get that. But overall, having a university in your backyard, it's a win. Especially for families with college-bound kids or people who want to rent to students. Now let me tell y'all something else. Food. Look, if you know me, y'all know I like to eat. And High Point got some spots that are slept on. I'm talking real soul food. Family-owned barbecue joints. Hole-in-the-wall taco spots. Jamaican food. Ethiopian. You just gotta know where to look. You're not gonna see it on some big billboard or Yelp list. But the flavors here are homegrown. That's part of what makes High Point feel like, well, home. And speaking of home, let me give you some numbers. Right now, you can find homes in High Point under $250,000. And I'm talking move-in ready homes in decent neighborhoods. You want a little fixer-upper with some potential? You can get even lower than that. And if you're looking to invest or maybe rent it out, that's where things get interesting. Rentals are looking and inventory is tight, which means opportunity. Let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. High Point isn't perfect, but no place is. What makes a place right for you comes down to your lifestyle, your budget, and your goals. If you want a big city vibe with a fast pace, High Point might not be your speed. But if you want a community that's affordable, quiet, and full of potential, especially if you're looking to plant some roots, raise a family, or invest in something that hasn't hit its peak yet, High Point deserves a second look. And listen, if you're still watching right now, thank you. That means you're serious. So let me ask you for a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Even if you disagree with me, especially if you disagree with me. Let's talk about it. And again, if you're thinking about buying, selling, or just need someone to help you figure out what your next move is, my number and contact information is in the description box below. I'll get you the answers that you're looking for. Whether you're ready to relocate tomorrow or just plant some seeds for the future, I want you to know, High Point just might be a place where you can find your next chapter. And make sure you watch this video as it will help you with your home search. And when you're ready to make that move, just remember, Keon has the keys. I'll see you in the next one.